your thoughts on The Brutalist since you finally got to see it?
Oh yeah, well, first of all, I mean, when that first, I think I texted you this, but yeah, like that first half, like just flew by. I was like, okay, for a movie where there's not any action happening, like this is just really, really compelling stuff. But yeah, I mean, I kind of blew. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but yeah, it was. It's special, I think. Like it's the performances are all so good. I mean, Felicity Jones just being in the second half of the movie. I don't know why she's not getting more.
People are crapping on her performance in the movie. They're saying it holds the second act back.
I couldn't agree less with that. Yeah, I think she's very, very good. I mean, I think Guy Pearce is freaking awesome. Like you said, the shots, the cinematography of it, I mean, just the sets, everything about it is just the detail and just the specificity of all of it. It's extraordinary. I mean, I don't understand, how anyone could crap on just about like anything in that movie, frankly. I mean, it's... I don't know if you saw my Letterboxd review, but yeah, I mean, it's an instant. I think it's an instant classic. Like,
yeah, you called it the first instant classic since Parasite.
Yeah, like when I walk, I was like, "Yep, this is going to be one that lasts over for I think for a long time."
So I was also just like totally blown back by it, and I feel bad for me that my Letterboxd review was just talking about how Paul Schrader was in my screening coughing without covering his mouth.
Did he get you sick? Did it happen?
No, I'm fine. I mean, I was fine. I was a little sick this week, but I was fine at the time. I don't know if he was sick. He's just kind of gross.
Well, yeah. Was he like 70 something? Of course, he's gross.
I think he's 78, and he sounds like RFK Jr.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's the best movie of 2024 by like not a wide margin. I mean, I think Furiosa and Dune 2 are two of like the best movies that I've seen. But yeah. The Brutalist is just a different thing.
Nobody's making movies like this anymore. I mean, that's like it's completely different from like anything else that's coming out right now.
I have a neighbor who's a filmmaker, and he said the exact same thing when I asked him what he thought. He goes, "There is no one making movies in North America like Brady Corbet. It's just not happening." My response was the only thing that to me even comes close is Tar. You know, that was like a deep, like a really rich movie that drew you in both with how it looked and how it felt and the performances. And this was the same thing on a much grander scale.
Yeah, I was really surprised too. Like I thought Adrian Brody would be a more sympathetic immigrant story. Not at all. Like not even a little bit. Like he's kind of a bad person. Yeah, in a lot of ways. I mean, and it's not that there's not anything sympathetic about him either. I mean, he certainly has his good qualities as well. But like, I did not realize he was going to be like a drug addict, prostitute. Like a lot of that stuff like surprised me. Like I'm not used to seeing that also in like immigrant stories. Like they don't cover or they don't show that stuff. In a lot of those kind of movies. So just what a performance by him too. It couldn't have been done. I don't know if anyone else could have done it.
I don't know. I'm glad you said that because it makes sense for this story to go this way. He's so post-traumatic that how could he be well-adjusted? It just wouldn't have worked at all.
Went through the camps and everything. Like, I mean, you come out of that normal.
Right. And he's a liar, which I think also makes a lot of sense because what's he had to do to survive? I do love that it does seem like the best actor Oscar is Brody defending his crown as youngest ever winner against Chalamet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So if Chalamet wins, he'll be the youngest ever person to win this award. Brody is the current record holder of that. And Brody is also nominated, or will also be nominated this year.
Yeah. And it's funny, he hasn't been nominated since doing that either. Like, that's the only time he's ever been nominated before, too.
It's crazy. So last night, while you were watching The Brutalist, I just happened to be watching King of the Hill, the Soderbergh movie, which I knew nothing about, but I'm watching all the Soderbergh movies now. It stars Jesse Bradford, who has devolved as a performer since he was a child. He was a good child actor, but incredible in King of the Hill. But we've reviewed Bring It On, where he's really bad.
Oh, right, that's him. Yeah, I was wondering, like, where have I heard that name? Yeah.
And he's like fine in Hackers. He's good in, where's I going with this? Oh, Adrian Brody shows up as like a 19-year-old kid. It's wild. Really? He looks totally, I mean, it's clearly him, but he looks very, very different even than he did in The Pianist. Yeah, it was just cool. It was cool. I'm like, oh, Jake's seeing The Brutalist, and I'm seeing Adrian Brody pop up as this like scamp. Anyway, King of the Hill is good. It feels kind of cheesy at first, and then it's kind of like a live action Grave of the Fireflies.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, not quite as depressing, but it's about a kid who's kind of on his own in Depression era America. So,
jeez, yeah, heavy.
Yeah.